Hi, this is Jillian, and this is a short tutorial on how to draw hands. You might want to start out by taking some photos or using some references from the internet. I know that has helped me tremendously with any art stuff that I try to do. Next, you'll want to break down the object or subject into its most basic shapes. I usually, if I'm going to use a reference photo, use red lines over it if I need to. Nowadays, I don't really need to do that, and I don't recommend using a direct trace for your final product if you do use reference pictures. When I use reference pictures, I usually draw to the side of the photo, as you'll see later, but I wanted to show what the breakup of the basic shapes is. Another thing that I think is important to remember is that if you do use references that are not your own, to correct them even if you don't trace over the image, and to make sure that it's okay to even use that image. I know on DeviantArt there is a user called SenchiStock, and there's other ones who are like part of her friend group or whatever that also have similar type stuff, and pretty much any kind of pose or whatever she has available. So I highly recommend her and her little friends. Another good source is just life in general. Take some photos of your own. Like, I have some little figures. They're not drawing figures, they're actual, like, action type figures from Rama 1.5. I have female Rama and I have male Rama. And they're not, like, perfect, but if I'm wanting a basic pose and I'm not sure how to draw it, I can just pose them into that pose, take a photo of it, and have it beside of me in, like, digital art like you see me having on here. Another thing to remember about trying to draw really anything in general is, like, what kind of style you're trying to go for. For me personally, I tend to go for a more cartoony or a surrealism type style. So typically I draw it more simply than what I'm trying to do here. So I can get away with more basic shape, more doll-like hands. But style comes second. Learning how to actually get the basic shapes is what you should be more focused on initially. If you do decide to do a more realistic style, shading is definitely your friend. Like the wrinkles, the nails, all that stuff. And nail beds, like, if you look at your own nails, they curve with your finger. I don't know that I really demonstrated that particularly well in this little exercise, but that's something to definitely remember when working on your own pieces. Something people should be aware of too, more so with like realism, is like the actual tension the line art shows. Like if you're holding something tight or if you're making a fist, those folds on your hand become deeper because you're gripping harder. And if you're just loosely holding something, it's less tense. Your hand's looser. It's not pulling those folds closer together. And you don't notice it as much in like cartoony styles. unless they're like overly line arted. But in most like Adventure Time, Steven Universe, the in style right now, it doesn't show that as much as like Dragon Ball Z and Ronin Warriors, Gundam Wing, Cowboy Bebop, even like Naruto and Bleach did that sort of like, if they're making a grip, a fist, the lines get a little bit darker in their folds, in their eyes, everywhere. They look more angry, like the pen itself, as you're pressing in to make the line art, is going deeper onto the page because the artist is angry and trying to show that anger through the page, or at least something like that. Anyway, I hope this has helped y'all in some way. Please subscribe, leave comments down below. Have a nice one. Bye.